is Thursday, January 14th, 2021. The time is 11:01 a.m. This is a special meeting, which includes an amended agenda, and it's regarding human resources to consider personnel changes. Attending are Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Thank you, Kim. We have no changes. So our first item, and it is a business potential action item, is a request for higher duty pay for 2 employees by the treasurer. So, Steve, did you want to come forward? So this is Treasurer Matheson coming forward.
I'm going to need some guidance here, but I have 4 items, I believe. There's 4 status changes, and 2 of which require or involve higher duty pay. So, the other 2 are good? Okay, great. And I can use names and all that stuff? Don't use names?
I don't think you need to. We have all the backup documents.
We've got the backup documentation. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, then I'll turn it over to you, and you can ask me questions. I'm assuming you're all familiar with what's going on.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. I think it's appropriate with their increase in job responsibilities.
Okay. And this is brought about by the retirement of our Chief Deputy Treasurer.
Right. There are going to be certain functions that I've allocated. The majority of those functions are going to fall on 2 shoulders. Those 2 shoulders, I believe, should have higher duty pay. It is my expectation, because the accrual of the savings that we are going to have month to month is substantial. My intent is to come back several months from now and bonus some of that salvage to some other individuals within the department. But and if I'm going off course, someone tell me, but what I'm trying to do is accumulate or accrue enough salvage dollars to pay for, obviously, the increased duty pay or higher duty pay, anticipated bonuses later, as well as a professional service agreement that we've talked about, at least conceptually. Now, I understand that the professional service agreement, I hope to fund it completely with salvage dollars, but I might fall a little short, and we'll have that conversation probably next week. I'll have some details on, I have the numbers now, but I think that's a different venue.
Okay.
You intend to hire a deputy?
Yes.
Okay.
The press release that we announced last week, and I may not have shared it with you, my intent is to hire a permanent chief deputy. What we have done is I'm anticipating on the 21st elevating an existing employee to the title of chief deputy. It will be interim or acting only, until which time we can find a suitable replacement.
And they might be the one.
They might be the one as well.
Okay, good. Just so they have an opportunity to.
Everybody has an opportunity. It was important for me to post it internally as well as externally.
Perfect.
So my preference is to hire from within if there's qualified candidates. And then if there isn't within the department itself, then my preference would be county employees. And then if there's nobody there, external. And that job has been posted. We've already received interest as far away as Hawaii. So.
Put handcuffs
Wow.
on Lori, and keep her here for a while.
Say that again?
Handcuff on Lori on her chair. So
I've tried just about everything I could. I think the next step is baking or cookies or something along. Baking or cookies or something like that might work. I don't know.
Got it.
She's been a great employee.
She has.
Okay. Any more questions for Steve? I'm fine. Motion.
I move that we approve the request for higher duty pay for the 2 employees in the treasurer's office as outlined and presented.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Thank you, Steve. Okay, item number 2, budget position change request with an increase. Assessor, is Joe here, or Kim, are you going to handle it? You want to handle it?
I can handle it. So my understanding is that A cadastral tech 1 was budgeted to be elevated to a cadastral tech 2 when the employee was ready. The projection is attached, and they're ready to make that change.
Yep, and it's budgeted.
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
Bill?
Nope, no problem. Look through them all.
Okay,
This was a great example of them planning for this in the budget, yeah.
good move.
I was
Good
excited
move.
to see it come forward.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, motion.
I move that we approve the budget position change with increase. And I don't, Kim, do you need final numbers or?
You-
The increase would be $17.91 per hour.
I think that's good.
Second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Item number 3, Budgeted Excellence in Service Awards by the Assessor.
This was the same as they had done for the Department of Motor Vehicles. They had additional budgeted service awards that they had in place, and they're just asking to award those.
Okay. These were budgeted presumably.
Yes.
Okay. Questions? Motion.
I move that we approve the budgeted excellence in service award for the assessor.
I second the motion. Budgeted is good, not budgeted is bad. Little frowny face. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's passed. Item number 4, request for retro pay for the promotion for the assessor. Kim?
So there was an existing employee that was promoted into the management position for vehicle licensing on December 20th. They are asking that that employee be retro paid the day that they assumed that position as an interim, basically, from November 16th to the date they were promoted on December 20th, and do a retro pay since that person took on the duties and ended up being the one promoted into the position.
And that person did not have special duty pay or higher duty pay.
They did not.
Okay. And then the other question is, making it retroactive, do I make it to that date or to the pay period closest to that date?
We would do it to that date.
To that date.
To
Yes.
that date. And this is indicating a savings, is that correct?
Yes.
Am I reading it right? Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the request for retro pay for the promotion in the assessor's motor vehicle division.
I
To
second
No-
the motion.
I'm sorry, to November 16th. 2020.
Go ahead.
I second the motion. Now, aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion's carried. All right, then. Item number 5, adoption or classification of operations manager, duty manager, HR. Kim?
So this was part of the airport restructure that Stephen was planning. He had come to you a couple times, once during budget and once this last fall. We had graded the position and in a previous meeting asked if we could send it out. You gave the approval. So this is just adopting that grade. There was no feedback from the other electeds regarding the grade. It would be grade 10.
Understood.
And then he'll decide if he's going to hire for those positions or if the people there are going to be promoted.
Correct. At the last meeting, he said on the record that he was still in the training phase and he was going to make those determinations probably in the spring.
Good.
Okay, fair enough.
But he will be back before you to then convert some position numbers to this position.
Okay, cool. So no motion or no decision required of us today.
Oh, we need to adopt
To
it.
adopt the grade.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, and that's right. Everything's indicated as an action item. Motion.
I move that we adopt the reclassification of the operations manager duty manager. I don't know why manager's there first, but twice, then,
To grade 10, yep.
yeah.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Thank you. Item number 6, temporary employee request for district court. Marissa.
I'm requesting a clerk position from a temp agency to assist our civil department, which has recently hired more people, new people, because some people promoted with the addition of new positions that we got this year. And so they're struggling to keep up with the electronic filings coming in. Normally, those are managed quickly within 24 to 48 hours, and they have a very big backlog. We've reached, I think we've burned through like 52% of our overtime budget already.
How far is the backlog?
It's 1 week behind. They fell about 2 weeks behind in November, in the fall. And so with a lot of pulling people from other divisions who are familiar with that work and using all that overtime work, we've only brought them to about 1 week behind. And so if we can have a temp from an agency to maybe filter phone calls and handle other things, they can focus that training to bring the new people up to par more quickly so we can handle it better.
Okay, so you're tapping into your temp budget.
Yes.
Okay.
Your,
Oh, no,
your
I don't
temp,
have,
no, the
I don't have a temp
BOCC.
budget.
Oh, it's our
The
temp
BOCC,
budget, I'm
yes.
sorry. Yeah,
I was
our-
talking about.
How are we looking, Dina? On, okay, perfect.
Yep. Yep, there's still money left. Okay. I'm fine. Motion?
I'm sorry, it was for 6 months, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I
That's
move
what it
that
says
we
here.
approve the request for temporary staff for the District Court Division for 6 months out of the BOCC temp
Right,
pool.
right.
I second the motion.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion's carried. You okay there? Okay. Boy, that's a messy setup. Okay. All right. Final item, item number 7, request for a record specialist position, sheriff. Good morning.
Commissioners, thank you for allowing us to bring this back forward again. I don't know if you need a full recap or if you have enough information just based on our previous conversations on this, but again, we're just requesting that we move funding from our detectives budget to the records budget, and that would allow us to hire a records specialist to take on a lot of the video redacting problems that we have for public records requests.
And then, do you know off the top of your head what percentage are over the 3-day time frame that you have to request more time? You know, like 50% of all your requests that come in are over that time?
I don't have
Okay.
that figure in my head.
Okay. And,
No, I'm sorry, go ahead, Leslie.
well, just my other question is, I know that some of these in your statement say that they take hours to do. Is that when we're adding up the costs and passing on some of those costs to the requester?
Yes.
Okay, so then eventually some of these processing fees can go back to funding that position?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we
theoretically?
would recoup whatever those fees would be, yes.
Okay,
So, Captain, just for everyone's benefit, explain what this process is, because you referred to redacting, and it was interesting when you explained it to me. But go, just for everyone's benefit, go ahead.
So we get a records request for let's say it's a video on a high-profile incident that happened recently. It's been adjudicated and it's put to bed. We have to go through all of that video and we have to redact. Maybe there's a notebook that has a case number on it that somebody didn't recognize before. We have to delete that out. Anything of graphic nature we try to delete out because we don't hand out just public information of, graphic details. Names have to be redacted out. So the problem is that you have to watch it, and then you have to go through and log what you need to take out, and then you have to go back through it again and make sure you didn't miss something. Sometimes the system is smooth, sometimes it locks up, buffers, you gotta go back, start over again. It's just, and a lot of those little details are just things that are time consuming in nature to look, listen, and make sure
Highly
you're grabbing.
technical.
Yeah,
Not anybody can just do it.
well, I think we can train somebody to
Yeah.
really do the process of it,
Right,
but you have
right.
to be dialed in and focused, and, it takes a lot of time and detail just to sit there and go through it and make sure you've
And you
grabbed
have
everything.
to have an idea what meets the,
Yes, and then we
level
make sure,
of-
yes, and we make sure that we've briefed it with, our attorneys to make sure we're taking out all the proper information and leaving what we are supposed to leave.
good.
Okay, thank you for that.
and then last question, going forward, this line item will just be transferred to personnel?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the request for record specialist position using the indicated line item, 15.6.620.3-7005.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried to hire the record specialist position for the sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Public comment? None. 11:17, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
We're doing these